So we're here for the VERSEatyle interview. I guess he hanging B-boy style, literally, huh, Verse?
Yep, you know.
Man, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. We got the Jalopy single on there.
What up, Dago?
M and Gas Lamp.
Yes, sir.
All off the PSYLENT REROUTE album, huh?
Yep.
Man, we ready to rap about it. You ready?
Yep, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, what's going on, world? This is K Williams with Ken Chronicles Media. Here with rapper VERSEatyle, a San Diego native who over the past years has relocated to Long Beach. He is a rapper, street performer, West Coast pop locker, and producer. VERSEatyle dropped an EP titled PSYLENT REROUTE less than a month ago. We're here to talk about his journey in music thus far and much more. VERSEatyle, what's going on, man?
Glad to be here.
Man, glad to have you. Glad to have you. So we've been talking the past couple of weeks, man. Really getting aligned with things, really getting the connection. Me learning more about you, like as a rapper, and more importantly, a person, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So
Human being at the end of the day, you know.
So when you woke up this morning, describe how you felt in 3 words.
I'm gonna do this. Just ready for the day.
A couple sentences there, huh?
Yeah.
So you're from San Diego.
Yep.
So for those who might be wondering, what was your childhood like growing up? The environment.
The environment, it was pretty chill. I was one of the average kids that grew up probably with the hide and seek stuff, playing games, ice cream truck. On my family's behalf, we had our growing pains. Some people just don't get along. Some kind of relationships just end, even if it is family. So it's kind of have my struggle in my childhood, and it was also beautiful at the same time. But overall, I wouldn't change it for the world.
So it was well balanced, you would say?
Yeah, well balanced.
In what fashion?
As far as me being happy at the end of the day, like even everyone has their stuff they go through and stuff, but at the end of the day, I was just happy at the end. Like, I'm satisfied. It's cool.
Talk about things that made you happy growing up. What were some of your initial hobbies growing up?
One of my earliest things was video games. I remember since a part of my growing pains, all the stuff that would go on at home, I would just kind of just warp out into my own little world and stuff where I was very imaginative, so I'd make up my own characters and my own stuff. After that, I pretty much just, go out to my friends' pads, just kick it. So it was really half and half. It wasn't really too problematic. It was just more like with my family and stuff. But the environment, it was cool. Paradise Valley.
So what age did you find interest in rapping, and who were some of your favorite artists growing up?
Shoot, I didn't start rapping or get an interest in it. Well, I had an interest in rap, like just the music, since I was a kid, but I didn't start getting into it until like after high school. Like, I started writing, but then one day I was writing some stuff. I'm like, let me actually get this stuff out. And I wasn't the best. I sounded weird. I'm like, damn. But but after that, I just kept doing it. Like, one of my philosophies is just keep going, continue. I kept doing it. I started noticing my voice started changing. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of sounding like some of the people I listen to. It was like in the blog era of hip hop.
Around what age was that?
When I was around 20, 21.
Okay.
Like, so yeah,
That's roughly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
So who were some of your favorite artists growing up?
I gotta give credit to Eminem. I remember the first album I had as a kid, my parents bought me the Eminem Show. Okay. That's the only album I had, and I was just a kid. I liked hip hop, but I wasn't into like deep, like, I'm gonna keep buying albums. So I just had that one album and I listened to it religiously. And I guess over time I just kinda adapted just like the cadences, the rhyme flow and everything. So I give a lot of credit to Eminem. But also Nas, I just liked his metaphors, his wordplay with everything. I'm like, wow, this is genius. Pac and Biggie, which is, I feel like that's a given. I ended up liking Tupac after Biggie because my ear wasn't adapted to Tupac's sound first, because he was more on the forceful kind of side, and Biggie was just kind of like, you know, he has his hard little flows and stuff. But later on I'm like, oh, I relate more to Tupac and more of like what he's talking about. So I guess it was just like, how did I get into them? But yeah, to answer your question, those are the people pretty much. I have a bunch listed down because I listen to people in the eras, but yeah, that's pretty much them.
So it's just a wide array of artists that you pull from and stuff like that.
Tell them fuck them all. Ain't familiar to your protocol. Knowing like I'm knowing step and run them off. Basic niggas wanna floss, wanna boss and all that other shit. Ain't that bad a bitch like when I come across at it, yeah, I'm back again. Ran up with me, hold up that depends. Sharing, kicking back, what up, what's happening? I'm in this hoe, I'm in the show. Ain't no breaks, ain't an interval. Working till you get it, gotta get it though. Hey.
Where the name VERSEatyle came from?
Yes. It's kind of funny because I didn't make it up. It was one of my longtime closest friends. Shout out to ISO Fresh from Style Magic's crew, our dance crew. One day we were just talking, and then I gave him his name the same day. I was like, hey, because there's this thing in pop locking called isolations and stuff, and he was really good at it. I'm like, hey, you should just be ISO Fresh.
Can we get a simulation for the people who might not know?
Yeah, like all this stuff. He was like good at that. You're gonna, hey, thank me, I did this shit for you. But yeah, he was good at that shit. And then yeah, we had b-boys, poppers and stuff. But yeah, he gave me my name or whatever, and I was like, hey, same day, boom. Now I'm versatile doing music. Oh yeah, it wasn't even about music at first. It was about pop locking, break dancing, b-boying. I was learning all the electric dances, all the shuffle. I was doing everything.
So
like,
the name transitioned.
Yeah, from just dance into rap into I'm trying to do everything. I wanted to learn graffiti and all that too, just to embody the whole culture.
The 5 elements that we talk about.
Yes.
Right on, right on. So do we hear some of your early musical influences in your rap content today?
Depends on who's listening. Some people might say, hey, you don't sound like Eminem to me, but you sound like Q-Tip. And someone maybe from that coast, like, you don't sound like Q-Tip, you sound more like Eminem, for example. So it really depends. But I know my style's, I guess, more on the vintage 90s, like kind of earlier. So maybe it kind of leans towards like the older people in that era. So
I can see that in Jalopy.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Yeah, nice. So, yeah.
So, you're a street performer, a West Coast pop locker. How did that interest initially spark? At what age?
When I was a kid. So, you know the movie Breakin'?
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was actually supposed to be one of the actors in it, but his manager had duped him and his partner out. He didn't show up to the auditions. So, long story short, my dad's been doing it ever since. A group called Flow Reaction in LA back then. I don't know if they're still around now. We've both been looking. But, yeah, he basically, him and my mom, one day I was 5 years old or 6 or something, right? Hey son, come over here. I just watched the movie Breakin' and stuff. And then they're like, hey, if you dance for $50 straight, if you dance for 1 hour straight, I'll give you $50. I'm like, oh shoot, I remember I jumped. I remember as a kid, I was like, and then I started doing it. I went to the sink, I'd be like, shh, doing all this. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted the $50, but I did it though. And until I just kept doing it. I'm like, hey, this will earn me some money, and hey, they really like, my whole family fucks with me for this. No one's arguing or nothing. Hey.
It brought them together?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brought smiles at least.
And it was a bonding tool, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what I've just learned, because I didn't even know that bit of information about your pop. So
yeah.
Would you say that breakdancing and pop locking, just the culture of it, would you say it's pedigree?
Yes, yes, very. Especially in my line of just me and my dad. We come from a line of musicians and stuff. So anything with music or even dance, entertainment, I'll say. Everything, yeah, it all impacts a lot.
Breakdancing and pop locking a lost art in the culture of hip hop, in your opinion?
I wouldn't say lost, because in other countries, a lot of them are doing really well at the vintage style of it. Because there's newer styles now that the U.S. is having and all that stuff. And I wouldn't say it's lost, but yeah, just kind of mutated. There's like, you can do stuff on TikTok, like, on TikTok you get time lapse that. For me, I have to physically know how to tick and stuff. Like, oh, you guys are cheating. But yeah, I mean, it's not lost. It's cool. It's good to see everyone's doing more with it. It's continuing, and that's the point. So,
would you say it's a little bit more manufactured?
In certain areas, yeah, due to social media. Like, if that's what people want to see, people are going to do it. So,
I agree. So, how often do you practice new pop locking routines, and why is it important for VERSEatyle to stay on top of his craft?
This is the funny part. I never practiced. I've danced so long when I was younger. Like, I literally, everything I'll just do it right there and then. And that was what I thought. If you ask me to do it again, anything I just showed you, I won't remember. But I don't practice.
So everything's exclusive?
I guess so, yeah. That's a bit. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I only do exclusive stuff, yes.
So, okay, let's talk about the newest project. Let's transition into music. Silent Reroute. What was the inspiration behind the title Silent Reroute?
I was going through a period of time in my personal life where I noticed my mental was changing, just some of my old habits that I had, and we, all of us as people, we all know what we need to fix. So there was a point where I was just like, hey, I could fix a few things. So the silent thing is just how it's spelled PSY. So it's like silent, like psychic for like your mind or whatever, and silent, so it's quiet. No one really knew I was even gone, like in San Diego, so I kind of just had to go for own personal reasons. And the reroute is just my changing my mindset, and now I'm like, for example, I'm doing stuff like I'm here now, like I'm actually at a good reroute to like at the right path now, to where I was just kind of sustaining at like I wasn't going anywhere. I was just making music, just doing all this stuff for nothing, I feel like. But now I'm like, now I know how to maneuver. I made my silent reroute to the right direction.
So rerouting yourself, that's almost, well, it is VERSEatyle as a person changing his own trajectory.
Yes.
Growth?
Yes, personal growth. And quickly too. Like, I even know that project was gonna come out. Like usually my like my project before 3V, I worked on that for like about 3 years. Or no, 6 years.
Okay.
And then but then that was me being overly, I want to be perfect. I'm like, just release it. So my next project was like, okay, just put out a project, don't hold back. And it turned out great. I'm like, oh damn.
Kind of went through every emotion?
Yeah. Quickly too, quickly.
So you have songs on Silent Reroute, Jalopy, Can't Conquer, which actually spearheaded the project. That's the first song on the project. 4 AM and Gas Lamp, which is one of my favorite personals.
Thank you.
And a host of others. If you had to describe Silent Reroute in 3 words, what would those words be?
More to come. That was just a little jab of what I could do. More to come. That wasn't even, I had no marketing skills, no nothing, no. I'm like, hey, let me just put out a few tracks. And it was only supposed to be one. Shout out to Flocka Boy. It was only supposed to be one song, Jalopy, but I was like, you know what, I got more angst in me, let me keep going, and turn it to 7 songs. To actually just make a full project, might as well.
An EP?
Yeah, an EP, yeah. Well, I don't know, Kanye's saying 7 songs in an album, I don't know. Well, I don't know everyone's...
I think we can argue that.
Yeah, I know, we can. I say at least 10 for me, but...
I guess most people judge it by minutes. I feel like you can get an album in 7 songs if it has a strong concept, and if I grab it, that's just you know, my opinion.
Yeah, I've been calling it an EP, but I just to umbrella it, just for, you know, social purposes, just project.
Solo dolo full of smoke, lit in that jalopy. I be lapped up in the cut, up in that bucket, ain't no stopping. Hot tires rolling, speakers blast, the whip is dripping paint. Running back, slowly hit the curb, and yet I'm rolling straight. Motherfuck like you didn't heard of me, no posing picture perfectly. Bumping car service, been a whiz, I'm making currency. Make way for me, they hate on me. Slaying with my A to B, that time machine, I'm riding clean. I'm finding things, you're finding me.
If you had to be honest with yourself, what is your favorite song off this project?
King Conquer.
Why so?
First time I just went to a professional studio, because my dad, he's also a producer, and he's been a producer since I was a kid. So I've always had the experience of people just coming over, all these different people, just rappers, just other producers, engineers. So it's like, okay, I'm taking my own independent little lane, and like, okay, let me go to the professional studio and stuff, see how this works and stuff. So everything was beautiful. I walked in there confident. I don't like to party before I go in or whatever. I like to just record, get my stuff straight, and leave, handle business. So I did that. It was quick. The engineer was happy. Like, everyone, the easiest people I had to work with. I'm like, hey, cool, I'm glad to be here. Then I should do this more often.
Kind of in and out, huh?
Yeah.
So what was the creative process behind this project for those who don't know?
Well, it started with one song. I kind of like to go through my song process. Since I'm versatile, I like to make one chill song. I like to make one car song. I like to make one banger song, one club song. So my approach was just like hit every little perspective of me that I can, but just in 7 tracks before I put out something else.
You know, from my personal research on your music, I found that you've grown musically.
Thank you.
For sure, from your earlier days up into this conversation now. Do you agree that you've grown musically yourself?
Yes, yes. I'll say when I was a kid, I was very introverted, so even me speaking was like rare, like, oh dang. So for me just to practice my vocals and everything over time, I'm like, oh, I'm growing as a person with this. So yeah, it was all beautiful.
And even when it comes to music, you embodying everything because you're you're a producer as well.
Yes.
For those who might not know.
Yes.
So how did you go about choosing beats for the project, and how many producers did you work with on this project?
I worked with about 5. 2 of them was, well, no, they're all over the place because I kept switching the project around. It was really supposed to be 10 songs. I was like, let's do 5, then do 7. So altogether, 6 people, 6 producers. Yeah, 6 producers.
So it was a true collective of just great talents and minds coming together?
Yes.
What state of mind were you in?
Get this done. Don't lag like the last album. Don't be so hard on myself. Don't be a perfectionist. Get it done, choose a concept, go for it.
Why did you lag on the last album?
I wanted to be so perfect. I wanted the best music videos. I wanted the best everything for it, the best cover art. And then at the end of the day, I just chose what was true for me. I knew all the songs were the best quality, but if people liked it, some people didn't even complain. I'm like, oh, so as long as my music making someone happy and I'm going towards somewhere with this, I'm cool. And that's what I got. So I'm like, hey, I can continue this.
So when we talk about being satisfied with our art, I mean, I would assume that that's every artist's goal, right?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the reception and the overall people basically welcoming you into the game officially?
Yeah.
So, with Silent Reroute, are you okay with the outcome thus far?
Yes, I met so many new people, so many just connections, and I've helped other people with their situations. It's just been a lot of growth versus my last project where I was just trying to be so perfect and nothing happened as much. Well, so I did my little moves, but you know, not as much as I'm doing now, thank God. So
you learned though, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot. Like I said, very quickly. And my last project was only like maybe 4 or 5 months apart from the new one right now, so I learned a lot in those few months. Just even moving out here.
Absolutely, I would say that's huge growth within that time frame. Yep. Absolutely. So what's the next single that you're dropping next off of Silent Reroute?
Shoot, right now I'm working on a bunch of songs right now. I'm working with a bunch of producers. Shout out to FL Gangland. I'm being, not sponsored, but I'm being helped with a lot of just people around the nation. And there's a couple people over in like Africa and stuff.
Yeah, fill it to the brim, fill it to the brim. That's a gin, tequila, whiskey, rum, every hit. Fill it to the brim, fill it to the brim. From the bar to the club, party to the crib. Yeah, back it up for me, just a little bit. Don't want no little shots, that's just a little bit. Back it up for me, just a little bit. Don't want no little shots, that's just a little bit. Bust down the ground, slaying my back and forth. They just say less, so I just say no more. No clowns around, cause they stuck at the doors. Lick a scent on my breath, ladies up on the floor. Watch your foot, classy, no captain, yeah. You know I'm with it, the digits, they get the clapping, yeah. Spending that semi, they rent deposit and taxes, yeah. Got them dollars to make them all, and back it up.
So in the near future, are you planning to drop another project? And if so, is there a tentative date?
There's not a tentative date yet, but there is a new project coming out called Continue. And it's based off of my love for gaming, my love for hip-hop. There's going to be very introspective skits in it, and very good production. And it's going to be very heartfelt with everything. So it's going to provide everything you're going to want to listen to.
So Ken Chronicles has been known to be hip-hop nosy. How many tracks are going to be on the album? Is it an album or an EP?
It's going to be an album this time.
Okay. So we can expect, what, 22 songs?
Well, I mean, if people would love to hear that, yes. But my magic number, after just researching everything and just knowing what I like, I'm going to go for 15.
15?
Yeah, 15.
Why so? What have you found through research? Why 15?
I guess based off of like how much people's attention spans with like how like maybe the 1 minute, 2 minute songs, you can kind of just put like how many of those or whatever. So some songs are like 5 minutes, and then they have like you were saying, like some are only 7 tracks. But then they're like long ass songs. But then with 15 songs, with I guess the marketing level nowadays where people have short attention spans, it gives more replay value. So I guess 15, just market each of them properly. Eventually, one of them's gonna be that one like, hey, boom, let me get to know you more, and then more connections from there.
But at least there's a lot of content out, right? 15 songs.
And I thank God I have a catalog now. Well, that's another big reason why I did Silent Reroute too, because I wanted to have more of a catalog. I seen some of the artists I listen to, and some of their biggest songs now is like some stuff they released way back before. It's just no one heard it yet. It wasn't marketed, but they built the fan base and everything, and the fans discovered the diamonds for them. And I'm like,
who are those artists?
I don't want to name drop, but I'll say some of them are from the Bay, some of them are from New York, and Texas.
Okay.
Just some of the ones I listen to, but yeah, they all just follow a certain kind of path. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of peering into that too.
So when it comes to your sound, where's your fan base from?
Majority San Diego, because I know people interpersonally, but it's starting to be everywhere, like more on the East Coast, because I'm negotiating with certain people, just working with them, and they have loved ones and family too, so it just spreads. But mainly San Diego.
So I know you put San Diego on the map quite proudly.
Yes.
Why is it important for you to continue to put San Diego on the map musically?
I believe that San Diego, because in my opinion, LA's big, the Bay's big. San Diego, we have our known people, and we have some people very talented that's bubbling up right now. Shout out to all of them. And right now I feel like we're the next big West Coast, you know, style that's coming up right now. And I feel like that town deserves a lot of good leaders, and right now is the best time. A lot of them are doing a very good job. I watch people silently. So if they watch this, yeah, I'm watching y'all. Y'all doing a very good job. You go, Diego.
So when it comes to rap, when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to pop locking, street performance, where's that weighted? As far as like, where do you prioritize that?
Elaborate. Like, like how do I mix them? Or?
Absolutely.
Oh well, I'll say, you know how there's Chris Brown and he's R&B and he could dance. I like to be maybe the counterpart, rap and dance, since you don't see that as much nowadays. But it's bringing back the the old elements and stuff, kind of like refine it. That'll be my little niche.
And the reason why I asked that is because you're a talented rapper, but you're also a talented street performer as well, pop locker. So I wasn't sure which one you prioritize.
The best way I put it is my name's VERSEatyle. Just as long as everyone sticks to the, like, look at the name. If I just do a lot of stuff and I'm that good, I'm just trying to uphold my name pretty much. And not even trying, I just like doing certain stuff that makes me excel at myself, I guess, yeah.
Who is VERSEatyle?
Vercel, Molly the Third. Or V. I have 3 forms, I like to say. VERSEatyle is my 3rd form, my strongest form. V is like my mid form, I'm just chill with everybody. Vercel is just like the normal, go to work 9 to 5. Yeah, average, wake up in the morning, drink coffee, have a beer at night. But nah, it's just metaphor, I'm all the same dude. I have no fear, VERSEatyle is here. Yo.
Early celebration, Dago's greatest in a while. Motherfucker, I'll take the crown. This that nigga VERSEatyle. You a joke who wantin' smoke, bitch, I be reeking from that loud. Niggas creeping, crime rate peaking, people fleeing from my town. Busters wanna take my place, I bet they love charades on everything. Too much on my plate, nigga, I love buffets. I set the stage like Final Destination, straight up melee fade. I regulate, in control, Nintendo fucking up the game, I penetrate. Fuck them all, ain't familiar to your protocol. Knowing like I'm knowing, step them, run them off. Basic niggas wanna floss, wanna boss and all the other shit. Ain't that bad a bitch, like when I come across at it, yeah, I'm back again. Ran it with me, hold up, that depends. Chillin', kicking back, what up, what's happening? I'm in this hole, I'm in for show. Ain't no breaks, ain't an interval. Working till you get it, gotta get it though. Hey, never late is better, but better late than never. Hanging with it, stay committed, face to face whenever. Wait up, the A to limit, A to finish. Won't chase forever, feeling like I made it, fuck what they endeavored. Antenna since I paid the cost to be the boss. I got it locked, I fly and rock the key. Heaven's gate, that godly peak, infinite within the G. Do it for the culture, do it for the green. Do it for the hustle, for the love, and never for the greed, yeah. Want that really real, I'm coming with the proof. Money be the middleman, so what a nigga gotta do? Fuck your truce, I'm letting loose. Flip the bird and chuck the deuce. Squatting up, go send the truce. You my recruit, nigga, salute. Squatting up, go send the truce. You my recruit, nigga, salute.
Squatting up, go send the truce. You my recruit, nigga, salute.
A dollar and a dream, but a dollar I ain't got, so I'm going back to sleep broke, dreaming that I'm not. Need everything in a rush, start overthinking too much. Take it one day at a time, endurance and hustle I trust. A dollar and a dream, but a dollar I ain't got, so I'm going back to sleep broke, dreaming that I'm not. Candy flipping to set the image, pictures within the lines. Take a minute to reminisce and look inside of my mind.